Greetings to Mayor Rex Harden. Greetings to Vice Mayor Andrea McGee, to Commissioners Rhonda Eaton, Allison Fournier, Barry Moss, to my Commissioner Beverly Perkins, to our City Manager Gregory Harrison, City Attorney Mark Berman, City Clerk Kelvin Alfred, and to all assembled in these walls of City Hall. Standing next to me is one of the victims, Sister Delana James' brother. Delana James, Brandon Littlejohn, along with his grandmother, Pastor Sharon Monroe, aunt, cousin, and a host of other family members. I stand here today not as a representative for any one particular organization, but I stand with every parent, every sibling, every citizen of our collective community, every pastor, every member of the fraternal organizations and sororities, every clergy person. I also stand with members of Masonic lodges and Women of Eastern Stars throughout Pompano Beach, every man and woman who collectively serve within our community, with members of the NAACP, members of the Urban League, every faith-based leader who share in a common concern for the spiritual nurturing, development, and welfare of those who we serve within this community. I stand with organizations like Faith in Florida, who have organizers on the grounds in 34 of the 67 counties in the state of Florida, focusing on the reduction of gun violence, immigration concerns, and defending democracy. And just to make sure I didn't leave out anyone, I stand in the great words of Slick Rick. I stand here to say to Lottie Dottie and everybody. First, I want to start by saying thank you to you, Mayor, and the Commissioners for the great work that you do in the city of Pompano Beach. And I want to thank Sheriff Tony and Captain Stallings for the fine work that they provide throughout the city of Pompano Beach to ensure our safety. I come tonight with a concern that just didn't happen a few days ago, but has been an issue not only here but throughout our nation: senseless gun violence, which unfortunately most certainly took the lives of 35-year-old Devon Johnson and a 31-year-old Delana James, while wounded with others. Our prayers and condolences go out to the families throughout their time of sorrow, and I pray that our collective actions from this day forward can help prevent these acts of violence from happening again within our community. I come tonight not as a reaction to this one event, but as a voice of one crying in the wilderness of Pompano Beach, crying out for a collaborative effort of preachers, politicians, police officers, principals of schools, men and women of fraternal organizations, community gatekeepers, and all to come together to cry out for justice. I come crying out for justice for every man, woman, boy, and girl, to be able to live in a community where all of God's children can live in a safe Pompano. I come crying out for us as a community to come together in a genuine partnership where we can speak the same language, walk in the same pathway, and act in the same manner for the common good of every citizen in Pompano Beach. I come crying out for us to work together as children of God and not become weary from the worries and wickedness of this world. Yet may we labor together on today for a brighter tomorrow. I come crying while sharing in the shedding of tears of our brother and sister whose lives we have lost due to, unfortunately, the senseless act of gun violence here in Pompano Beach recently. I come crying out, asking our God for the violence to vanish, for the peace to prevail, and for the people, pastors, politicians, preachers, and police to pray for our God to heal our land. I come crying out with a clarion call for us all to act and ask that all of us take 21 days to gather more information surrounding the concerns of citizens within our community and to reconvene to discuss an action plan for a safer and more unified community. In the meantime, we're asking for collaborative efforts from the powers to be to provide the following. 1, perhaps permanent police ghost car at that location. 2, consider a surveillance camera at that location that none of us need to know where it's planted. 3, can the City of Pompano Beach and Sheriff's Office increase the reward funds to close out open cases? 4, plan to have regularly scheduled meetings where pastors, spiritual leaders, politicians, police officers, principals, as well as gatekeepers, fraternal organizations, other civic organizations, and any and all concerned citizens and those in surrounding areas can come together for the common good. And 5, look and see what we can do to help lighten the burden of these bereaved families during their time of bereavement. I'm reminded of a poetic biblical writing taken from Psalms 30, verse 2, where it declares, I cried out to the Lord, and he healed me. Pompano Beach, we must remember that we always say in our Pledge of Allegiance that we are one nation under God, indivisible with liberty and justice for all. Which says to me, even our founding fathers knew that we cannot do anything without God on our side. Pompano Beach, we must come together now, crying out to our God, and act accordingly, and see how God will help us all to heal from the hurt and all the hell that we have endured. The time is now for us to come together. A famous theologian, John Wesley, stated, what one generation tolerates, the next generation embraces. We cannot afford to tolerate acts of gun violence anymore in our community. If we tolerate gun violence within our community today, the next generation would not just embrace it, they'll adopt it as a way of life. We, here today, all of us gathered, have an opportunity to change that outcome if we act in unison today. The most honorable Benjamin E. May stated, it must be borne in the mind that the tragedy of life doesn't lie in not reaching your goal. The tragedy lies in having no goals to reach. Our goal for tonight, our purpose, we ask for a commitment to partner with us to take the necessary actions to improve the quality of life and safety for all of our citizens throughout this great city of Pompano Beach. I thank you for your time, your attention, your prayerful support, and commitment for a safer Pompano. May God bless the work of our hands and order our steps on a pathway to healing us as a community. Thank you.
Absolutely, please.
My name is Sharon Monroe, and my address is 11721 Northwest 30th Place. I live in the city of Sunrise. But I just want to say to the mayor that I heard him say that on March the 14th that they would have a contract about the subway coming up. When you submit this contract, I'm going to be burying my granddaughter. So you know, and keep in mind, my birthday March the 9th. I gotta bury my granddaughter. So we plead to y'all about that store. And funny thing, I came off of 3019 Northwest 4th Street in Cottage City. So we ask y'all that y'all take everything that they say to y'all in mind about that store. Thank you.
Thank you.
Pastor Moise, you come back over to the mic. I know you said something about 21 days, and I wanted to, I have scheduled a meeting for March 9th
Okay,
at the Pat Watkins Center.
March 9th?
Yes, so that we could better discuss the plan of action that you just mentioned,
Sure.
so we can carry it out.
Okay.
So is there any possible way that we can meet before that meeting on March 9th? I know Ms. Sharon just said that was her birthday. That was just the date they had available in the month of March.
That's the date that you have available?
Yes, March 9th at the EPAL Larkin Center at 6 o'clock.
Okay,
So it will be a community meeting.
then that'll be fine.
Pardon me?
March 9th will be fine, that's the date you have available.
Okay, and we'll get together on it and get some flyers out and make sure we have the community there so we can better put our plan in action in place. Okay.
Thank you.